in 5-5, we're going to connect fractions, decimals, and then work again with the order of operations, which we know. Writing fractions as decimals. You can use your calculator for this. Or you can do long division if you like that. You're going to divide the numerator by the denominator and continue the division process until the quotient is a terminating decimal or repeating pattern is recognized. So, 3/5 on my calculator, I'm dividing, turning it on and clearing it off. 3 divided by 5, and I get 6/10. It's that easy. 68 divided by 25. 68 divided by 25. And I get 2 72/100. 3 5/8. I know this is going to be 3 and then I'm going to put 5 divided by 8 in my calculator. And I get 0.625. 3 625 thousandths. 3/8 would be 3 divided by 8. And I am getting 375 thousandths. 12 5/16 would be 12 and whatever 5 divided by 16 is. And I'm getting 3125. That's pretty simple. Repeating decimals, we're going to look for the pattern. 4 divided by 9. 4 divided by 9. And my calculator looks like this. So what I know is writing it as a repeating decimal, the 4 repeats, so the bar goes over the 4. 3 divided by 22. This is what I'm getting on my calculator. 1, 3, 6, 3, 6, 3, 6, 3, 6. So I'm going to write it like that because it's the 3 and the 6 that repeat. I need the 1, but it's the 3 and the 6 that repeat. And I always, the first occurrence of that repetend is what I'm using. 8/9, 8 divided by 9. I get a screen full of 8s. And then my calculator at the very end has a 9 because it rounds that last place. But I know that that is just 8 repeating. But this is, my calculator programmed to round the last digit. This is a negative, so I know my decimal will be negative. 17 divided by 11. And I get 1.5454545454, etc. So I know this is going to be negative 1.54, with that 54 being the repeating digits. Now we're going to convert decimals with rounding. So we have this fraction, we're going to change it to a decimal, and we're going to round to the tenths place. So 162 divided by 7. And what I'm getting on my calculator is 23.14285714. If I want to round it to the tenths place, that 4 says just drop all that. So it's going to be 23 1/10. That's approximately equal to that. This is going to be negative because this is negative. 21 divided by 31. And I am getting, 677419355. That's what my calculator shows. I'm rounding it to the hundredths place, which is here, and the next digit says go up. So it's going to be negative 0.68. That's what it is worth. This one rounded to the tenths place, 9 divided by 7. My calculator says 1.289, 285,714,286. And the tenths place, the 8 says go up, so it's going to be approximately 1.3, 1 3/10. Again, this is going to be negative. 17 divided by 37, and I'm rounding it to the hundredths place. My calculator says 459, 459, 459. That is repeating, but they want us to round it to the nearest hundredths place. And the next digit is a 9, so it's going to go up to negative 46 hundredths. This is approximately what it's equal to. These are repeating, it's actually equal to that. That shows exactly what it's equal to. These, because we've either chopped some off or moved up another digit, these are approximately equal to. Writing fractions as decimals. Write the decimal, the decimal. This should be as a fraction, duh, as a fraction, and then reduce the fraction to lowest terms. So we're just simply going to read it, write it, reduce it, and we've talked about this before. So we're going to read this 475 thousandths, 475 over 1,000, and we're going to reduce that. We can either check our calculator or we can divide. I know both of those, actually. We can divide those by 25, which would be 16, 17, 18, 19 over 40. You can check that on your calculator. This is negative 1 and 25 100ths. We can divide both of these by 25, so we would have negative 1 and 1/4. 875 over 1,000. We can divide these both by 25, I know that. So we would have 32, 33, 34, 35 over 40. Oh, we can simplify that. We can divide both of those by 5. 7/8. This one would be negative 1 and 55 100ths, or negative 1 and 11 20ths. Whoa, I lost the page. These are some things that are used quite often, so you might want to learn these. You may know part of them already. A fourth is 25 hundredths, a half is 5/10, 3/4 is 75 hundredths. Now the ninths, 1/9 is 1 repeating, 0.1 repeating. 2/9 is 0.2 repeating. 3/9 is 1/3, which is 0.3 repeating. 4/9 is 0.4 repeating, 0.5 repeating, 0.6 repeating. 6/9 is also 2/3. 7/9 is 0.7 repeating. 8/9 is 0.8 repeating. So, if we want to give the fraction for this, we can think, okay, here we go. This is equal to 7/9. This is equal to 1/3. This is equal to 8/9. Ordering fractions and decimals. By writing each number in decimal form, it's possible to compare place value for each digit. So, if we're going to compare these three, I'm not sure why these are the same. Let's just make this first one let's make this first one this. And this one, we know that 1/2 is 5/10. So when we put these in order, I'm going to write them on top of each other. I'm going to fill in a 0 to just be helpful. This is the smallest, this is the middle one, and this is the big one. So we would have smallest, middle man, and the biggest. Okay, this one looks like it might be possible. So 1/6, we don't have that on our chart, but I can do it on my calculator. 1 divided by 6 would be that. So I'm going to write these on top of each other. And if I want, I can add a bunch of zeros here to make them all look the same, whatever. So these are the same, these are not. This is the biggest. This is the biggest. We'll mark it out because we've used it. This is the middle one. And then this is the baby. This is the little one. So if we wanted to write these from least to greatest, the smallest one would be this. The middle one would be this. And the biggest one would be this. Now we're going to the order of operations, and we know the order of operations. We know first we're going to do parentheses or symbols, grouping symbols. Then we're going to do exponents, square roots, absolute values. Then we're going to do multiplication and division, left to right. Then we're going to do the addition and subtraction, left to right. So when we look at this, we'll do the parentheses first. And this would be that squared. So we'll do our exponent next. I'm just going to use my calculator. And if we subtract those, I'll write them on top of each other. I'll fill in that 0 on the top. I need to borrow. I get 6, 1, 6. This next one, we'll do what's in parentheses first. And next we'll do the exponent. And then we'll subtract 2. Well, we know where the decimal point is here, excuse me. We can fill these in or not, that's up to you. And that's our answer. This one, we've got a decimal times a mixed number divided by a fraction taken to a second power. So they've suggested that we convert all the numbers to fractional form. So I'm going to change this to a fraction. That's -6 4/10. And this would be -6 2/5. And if we want to if we want to do some multiplication of those eventually, we'll change that to an improper fraction. So we're going to have negative 32 fifths times, and I'm going to change this 16 and 16 to be 21 eighths plus 3 fifths squared. So if you get it into that form, that's probably the easiest way to do this, I think. But we can do it by changing everything to decimals, and we'll do that in a moment. Okay, so let's do the exponent next. The 3 squared would be 9, 5 squared would be 25. And now we're going to do this multiplication. I know that's going to be negative. And I'm looking for cancellation. We can divide this by 8 and this by 8, and we would have what? Negative 84 over 5 plus, my pen just ran out, I think this one will work, plus 9 25ths, and I need a common denominator if I'm adding, so I'm going to change this one to 25ths. So I'll multiply the top and the bottom by 5. And I have kind of run out of room here. Negative 420 plus 9 over 25, which would be negative 411 over 25. And we could simplify that. We could change it to a mixed number if we wanted. If we wanted to convert all the numbers to decimal form, I'm going back to this problem right here. I have negative 6.4 times 2.5 would be 5 divided by 8 would be 625 divided by 3 fifths. 3 divided by 5 would be 0.6 squared, which would be negative 6.4 times 2.625 divided by 0.36. I mean, plus. I'm sorry. This is plus 0.36. And we can figure that out. But you need to do it one way or the other. And we have one more down here. And this number right here that will not be a nice, neat decimal. So probably you're going to want to change this to a fraction, because decimals are not going to be very neat to do.